Hey there, cartoon lovers! I'm Camille John, and welcome back to Secrets of Saturday Morning Cartoons, where we take a deep dive into the shows that made our childhood unforgettable. Now today, we're talking about a true trailblazer in animation history, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Now, before we dive in, I want to make something clear. This episode is focused on the history and legacy of the cartoon itself. While Bill Cosby was a central figure in its creation, this video is not about him or his personal life. Our goal is to explore the cultural and historical impact of this groundbreaking animated series. Now, grab your cereal, settle in, let's dig in to the story behind this iconic show. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids premiered on September 9th, 1972, and was the brainchild of comedian and entertainer Bill Cosby. Now, the show was based on Cosby's childhood experience growing up in Philadelphia. I also grew up in Philadelphia, and many of the characters were inspired by real people he knew. Fat Albert was more than just a cartoon, it was an educational powerhouse. With its tagline, "Hey, hey, hey, it's Fat Albert," the show tackled real-life issues like bullying, peer pressure, and racism. It wasn't afraid to get serious while still keeping kids entertained. Now, the music was a huge part of what made Fat Albert stand out. Each episode ended with a musical recap performed by the Junkyard Band. Now, these catchy songs not only summarized the lesson of the day, but also made sure you left the episode humming along. And let's not forget that groovy, funky beats that perfectly captured the vibe of the 1970s. And speaking of music, we can't talk about Fat Albert without mentioning its iconic theme song, titled "Gonna Have a Good Time." Now, the song was composed by Ricky Sheldon and Edward Fournier, with vocals performed by Michael Gray. Now, the background vocals were provided by Kim Carnes and Edward Fournier, adding an energetic and soulful vibe to the track. Now, this song perfectly captured the upbeat and positive message of the show, instantly grabbing your attention and introducing you to the fun and lessons that awaited in each episode. The theme song is a testament to how music can make a show unforgettable, and it's still one of the most recognizable cartoon themes of all times. Now, let's talk about the animation behind Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. The animation for the series was produced by Filmation Studios, a pioneer in creating content that combined entertainment with education. Now, despite working with limited budgets, the studio developed innovative techniques to deliver quality animation. For instance, Filmation relied heavily on rotoscoping, the process where animators trace over live action footage frame by frame. Now, this technique gave the characters fluid, lifelike moments that made their interactions feel more natural and relatable. Now, the vibrant color palette used in the series was another standout feature. The animators intentionally selected warm, earthy tones for the Junkyard Gang's world to reflect urban environments while keeping it visually engaging for younger viewers. The contrast between the lively character designs and the gritty, realistic backdrops helped ground the show in reality while maintaining its cartoonish charm. Now, each character in Fat Albert had a distinct design that reflected their personality. For example, Fat Albert's round, oversized figure and bright red sweater symbolized his big heart and leadership role. Weird Harold's lanky frame emphasized his clumsiness. Dumb Donald's pink hat with eye holes became an iconic visual gag. Now, Filmation's budget constraints meant that the studio often reused backgrounds and character animations to save on costs. While this could have limited the show's creativity, the animators compensated by focusing on strong storytelling and character expressions. They used limited animation techniques such as holding static frames while only animating the mouse or eyes, a method that Filmation perfected to ensure consistency across episodes. The show's groundbreaking combination of animation and education required a balance between engaging visuals and meaningful storytelling. Now, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids introduced a unique narrative structure that seamlessly blended animated storytelling with real-life lessons. Now, this dual focus pushed the boundaries of what cartoons could achieve during the 1970s. The series brought together a talented team of animators, including Hal Sutherland, an accomplished director and artist, who helped oversee the visual development of the show. Don Christensen, who contributed to character design and layout, ensuring that each scene captured its intended mood. The Scheimer family, who provided additional voices and helped maintain the high-quality production values that Filmation was known for. But what really set Fat Albert apart was its willingness to address social issues head-on. At a time when many cartoons avoided controversy, this show leaned into it. It highlighted topics like poverty, gang violence, and even learning disabilities. And it did so in a way that was accessible and relatable for kids. The goal was always to educate, entertain, and inspire. Now, Bill Cosby himself voiced Fat Albert, Mushmouth, Mudfoot, and the Brown Hornet. His narration at the beginning and end of each episode added a personal touch, making it feel like you were listening to a trusted friend. Now, Cosby's humor and sincerity made the messages resonate even more. Now let's talk about the talented voice actors who brought Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids to life. Apart from Bill Cosby, the show featured an incredible ensemble of voice talent. Gerard Edwards voiced Weird Harold, the gang's lovable but clumsy member. His comedic timing brought Harold's mishaps to life. Jan Crawford provided the voice for Russell and Bucky. Crawford's performances made these characters memorable and relatable. Eric Sutter voiced Rudy and Devery. Sutter's portrayal brought charm and humor to Rudy, the group's flashy and confident member. Lou Scheimer, co-founder of Filmation, voiced Dumb Donald, Legal Eagle, and the Brown Hornet's sidekick, Stinger. Scheimer's contributions extended beyond production to lend the show its heart and humor. Now, Jay Scheimer, Lou's wife, provided additional voices, including Miss Woocher, adding depth to the show's supporting characters. Erica Scheimer, Lou's daughter, contributed various supporting voices, showcasing the family's integral role in the show. Even though Fat Albert ended in 1985, its legacy lives on. Now, it paved the way for educational cartoons and showed that animated series could do more than just entertain. They could teach valuable life lessons. And it's still remembered as a groundbreaking show that celebrated diversity and inclusivity. Speaking of Filmation, the studio behind Fat Albert, they were pioneers in their own right. Founded by Lou Scheimer, Norm Prescott, and Hal Sutherland, Filmation was known for creating shows that balance fun and education. Now, in a time when animation budgets were tight, Filmation's innovative techniques kept costs low while delivering high-quality storytelling. Now, let's talk about the merchandising and licensing of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. While not as expansive as other animated series, the show did have a moderate level of merchandising. Some of the notable items include action figures and plush toys that featured the gang, although these were often limited to specialty retailers. A board game based on the series, which focused on educational themes, reflecting the show's values. Metal lunchboxes featuring artwork from the show, which were popular with kids during the 1970s. The series also extended into books and comics. Now, several storybooks and coloring books were published, incorporating the show's educational themes. Comic book adaptations allowed fans to enjoy the gang's adventures off-screen. Now, music was another area of licensing. Vinyl records featuring songs from Fat Albert and the Junkyard Band were released, showcasing the show's catchy and educational music. Clothing and accessories such as t-shirts with Fat Albert and the Junkyard Gang were also available, though not as heavily marketed as other shows of the area. While its merchandising wasn't as prolific as other cartoons, the legacy of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids lives on through its DVDs, digital downloads, and retro-themed merchandise aimed at nostalgic fans. So, what are your memories of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids? Did you have a favorite character or episode? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this episode, which I hope you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Secrets of Saturday Cartoons. Now, until next time, keep on reminiscing and stay animated. And as always, see you next Saturday. You know, if you scroll the words like faster than I say them, I can't say them. But
I have to get past.
Yeah, I have to say the word first. Okay, so let's go now. Lou Scheimer, co-founder, and is it Scheimer or Shamer?